Okay, here is my video for lecture 4 of the Jewish music video amazing series by Jeremiah Lockwood. And the topic is about how both the idea of music and noise were present in Jewish ritual experiences that I've encountered. So I'm going to start with a really basic one, which is that, frequently on Shabbat mornings in the synagogue I daven in, which is a Reconstructionist synagogue, there are small children in the back of the congregational space, sanctuary, and we don't have daycare, and they are frequently making noise as they're playing, they're talking. And even as we are doing congregational prayer, sometimes you can definitely hear the noise of the children in the sanctuary. And it is both discordant in a certain way, but then simultaneously beautiful, because it is obviously a reflection of inclusiveness, of welcoming younger parents and families into the congregational space and the prayer space. And it's almost a way of integrating children's voices in prayer. So that's one example. Second example is that I read Torah and chant Torah. And while the congregation, first of all, there are all sorts of different laning capabilities in the group of people who lane Torah. Some of it is essentially atonal, barely tonal. There are very different, quote, musical cantillation styles, some of which I would have to say I just have to categorize as noise, because it's so atonal. But there's also just sort of a murmuring in the congregation, slight murmuring as one lanes. It's not pure silence. And as a laner, one has to kind of get used to that. That there are sounds in the congregational environment that can be distracting if one doesn't really learn how to focus on the task at hand, namely reading, cantillating the Torah. And the third thing I would just say is that I've been interfaith married for over 40 years, and the sound of davening, particularly like the sound of davening when people are, quote, standing and saying the silent Amidah, which is not entirely silent, is still something that my non-Jewish wife, who has attended services for more than 40 years, I think still finds sort of slightly off-putting. And it is sort of an interesting question that even in our silent prayer, there's a sort of a comfort to the murmuring, sense that it's not only individual and that there's a collectivity to our, quote, silent prayer that is signified by this sound that isn't music. It's physical sound. It's breathing. It's that still signifies the community is together. So I really appreciated this lecture on the significance of Jewish noise to both our spiritual and cultural identity.